Hello and welcome to today's episode of Platinum Talks Wealth. Emmy-nominated journalist Jennifer Rogers Markwell changed gears in her television career when she realized the need to help women make sense of investing. She regularly hosts educational workshops to empower women and others to take charge of their financial future. Now, join your host, Platinum Wealth Management President Jennifer Rogers Markwell, as she leads us into the world of money memories, money infidelities, and how these can mold our relationship with our personal finances as adults. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, and thanks for joining us on today's Platinum Talks Wealth podcast. I'm Jennifer Rogers Markwell, and today we're joined by Carly Pepin. Carly, thanks so much for making time today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. So tell us about who you are and why you do what you do.
I'm a human behavior specialist and I work with individuals and groups. I help them to overcome any stressors, challenges that are preventing them from creating a life by design instead of default. And I do that because, as most of us get into this industry, we have those similar struggles within ourselves. And as I was learning how to overcome them, you just really want to share it. You really want to teach it.
Would you be open to sharing the story that kind of got you on this path?
It's actually a pretty fun one. So I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I was in LA, and I had been convinced that the bane of my existence and the root of all my problems was basically Los Angeles, like the people in it, the culture around it. And so I decided that I was going to take a little bit of a sabbatical, and I moved to Australia for a year, which was really far. And I got away from all my friends, all my problems, and I realized that was the first time I actually understood that everything comes from within. That it actually wasn't this outside world I had put all the blame on, that it actually was coming from inside me. So that was the first part of my personal development journey, understanding how to shift the inside so I could shift the outside, which is cool because when I came back to Los Angeles after, it's one of my favorite places in the world. I can't believe I actually hated it that much. Now I know that it's going to be a forever spot for me. I love it so much. Yeah.
Well, and self-development, I feel like, is a journey, right? Like that's some deep, heavy, sometimes hard work to do. Was it something that actually happened for you in that moment that you're like, yeah, I've got to dive in. Here's what this potentially looks like. What was a pivotal moment?
Yeah. I just remember being in Australia. I had this unrealistic expectation that going there was going to solve my problem. So obviously I was starting to feel depressed about my situation and how I was feeling. And I started to feel really lost and disconnected, not really knowing what to do. And I was sticking it out in Australia just to still give it a try because I was like, what am I going to do if I'm home? I'm unhappy home. I'm unhappy here. And it was funny because I got locked out of my car at the yoga studio. And it was the first time I looked at the bulletin board. And on the bulletin board, someone had posted a list of items of all the things that I was struggling with and basically that they could overcome it. And it was the first time I saw someone with the things that I was having challenges with that said that you could actually overcome it. And they had. I had so many times heard before, it's just something you have to live with. So that's my first dive. And that's when I just really started to dive in and realize like how much you could do, how much was out there available. It was amazing.
And you saw it on a bullet. I mean, that's like the universe or however you want to define things. Like that is a little poke for you right there, it seems like.
100%. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. I had to go all the way to Australia to find mine, but it was a great trip. So I'm grateful.
I'm assuming you probably hear that story often, right? That you end up in front of people when they need that. Share a little bit more there.
Absolutely. Like that happens quite frequently. I got a dog recently, so the dog bark. And they just say, wow, it's so crazy that I ran into you. I was just thinking that I really wanted to like work on some of this stuff, or even people from the past were like, I can't believe like you just came across my feed right now. And I just can't believe like I heard you in this moment. Like this is exactly what I wanted to hear. Let's connect. So I think it's just knowing that, the universe really does have our back kind of thing. It's consistently there giving us information and insights. And sometimes the teachers, whoever that may be. There's so many teachers out in the world. So I know whoever's listening to this is probably relating with their own personal experiences and all those teachers that have crossed their path.
And everyone's a teacher, I feel like, right? No matter what aspect and how they are in your life, they're always here to learn from others. Always, I feel.
100%. Even I say it consistently even to them, and they know it. I learn from them to the same degree that they learn from me. So it's fair exchange there. Really appreciative of those relationships. When I say life by design, it's designed to support what's most purposeful for you. Because if you are living a life of duty and just waking up every day, and this actually goes to money, like, what's the purpose of saving all that money? Like, it's a stressor. What's the purpose of making all that money? If you have a deeper connection to what you really want, you're actually going to set bigger goals, greater goals, longer goals. And then you're going to want to build the finances more naturally and intrinsically and work harder to do that, which is pretty cool. So that's why no matter what I'm working on, or at the core of what we're going to find as well, is we're going to find more connection to your deeper why. I want you to empower yourself to move forward. So that's part of that as well.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing it. And you mentioned money, right? And this is what we talk about here is those money memories, those financial infidelities. uh, I'm sure there's an overlap that you see on your side. What would be a money memory that you kind of gravitate towards? So, and that could be something, from your childhood or your younger years that really helped maybe mold your relationship with money as an adult.
I I got really lucky. My mom worked from home, and then she was a travel agent, but she also managed all the finances. So I call her the CFO of the household, right? She's our CFO. And then it was really cool because I got along with my mom really well. So when we were home, I would want to hang out with her. And so to hang out with her, I would help her like with the balancing and the accounting component. Like any of you guys who do QuickBooks or Quicken or any sort of financial stuff, you reconcile at the end. Like, I learned how to reconcile when I was like 11 or 12 or something. So I'd sit there with
Wow.
my mom and yeah, highlight and play. And we'd figure out where she had messed up and try to like find the mistake and the numbers that were off. Like, it was really fun for me. I really enjoyed it. So my relationship kind of with tracking and budgeting and all that component actually started out in a really playful and educational environment. And to this day, my husband laughs because he's like, he'll sometimes call me and I might not feeling good. And I'll be in bed or something, and he will see me on my computer, and he's like, "You're not feeling good, are you? Are you doing QuickBooks in bed?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do QuickBooks in bed." So I'm still a great relationship through the group. I'm not feeling well. Like, you'll find me like sitting in bed doing it down.
That is fantastic. I mean, what it makes me laugh, right? Like, I always tease, I'm like, it's a fun Friday night in our household, right? Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's like a deal.
Leaning into finances in a healthy manner, I don't see that as often as I'd like.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity and just teaching me too. I think one of the things is since my parents were entrepreneurs, it is teaching me that you're going to make money, you're going to lose money. And if you made it once, you can make it again.
You are listening to the Platinum Talks Wealth podcast.
Hey, it's Jennifer. I wanted to take a quick break to remind you that you are worthy to have a seat at the table when it comes to money and your finances. We, both me and my team at Platinum Wealth Management, want to meet you where you are, whether you're starting out, starting over, or have been investing for years. Reach out to us at platinumwealth.net or call us at 775-717-0001. We'd be honored to help.
And now, back to the podcast.
And that's actually really helped me on the risk component because, creating income and taking risks sometimes to the degree that even you have that like stable background, like I definitely like to have like that stable background and savings and investing rather than taking a risk. But at the same time, just being willing to. And that's been really helpful too, just having my parents as entrepreneurs to not have any illusions of having this like steady income all the time and knowing there's going to be highs and lows and knowing once you reach like that next step, you're going to have highs and lows at like the next step. And it's just all continually fluctuating and getting accustomed to that. Like that's been really helpful too. So watching them and talking to them about it and something I've been interested in and something they've been willing to share.
That's great. Not everybody gets that education, but you had it front hand. That's
Awesome.
so. Another thing we kind of discussed through is financial infidelities. And maybe it's something that you've experienced or seen or witnessed, or, someone down the street or an aunt or whatnot, right? Like, what is a financial infidelity that you're open to sharing and that you feel like folks could learn from?
Yeah. Well, here's the fun part is to the degree that I got all this great education, I also was really good at spending money. So My main thing was I also have a really high value on, and like part of my purpose and stuff is around beauty. It's around fashion. It's around art and architecture and stuff. So I have invested a fairly decent quantity of cash into my closet. We'll just put it that way. And sometimes I'll go out, I'll look at my bank statements from before and I'll giggle. So like, oh my God, I could put like a down payment on a house and all of this stuff. So to the degree that I have like a pretty great level of responsibility, I also have other things that I love, and that's kind of where some of it comes in as well. And it still is part of my life now, but since I've gotten older and wiser, kind of with that long-term plan is more about budgeting it in and making sure that I figure out how I can actually have that extra cash flow on the side to make sure that I'm not discounting the part of myself that's still really important. So I just absolutely love it. I find it so inspiring.
That's good though. I mean, but you and I chatted, right? That's not blowing your budget on a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes, not telling anyone, and then not being able to pay bills, right? It's being organized with your, some of your fashion passions.
Yes.
Good. So before we wrap things up, I always like to ask, what are some tips and or tricks that you utilize in your household with money? Everyone has different ones. They're all kind of unique and different across the board, it seems. But what do you do?
Yeah, I'm pretty, I guess I would say I'm pretty hard on myself, but also it's because it's inspiring to me, right? I have long-term goals. I have things that inspire me. So, there's a savings and investment component. Every month I'm putting away money in my savings and my investments. There's so many books out there. I'm still reading financial books on a regular basis to make sure I'm understanding. So that's a big component. And the savings and investing is really important. So every quarter, I raise my savings and investing by 10%. And what that's really done for me is it's catapulted my earning capacity as well. Because once you get in the habit, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, you do not want to stop. And then all of a sudden it's getting creative and you're saying, what can I do next in my life, in my business? Because if you really hold yourself accountable to pay yourself first in that way, it really boosts your confidence and self-esteem. And watching the back end of that savings account grow is huge. And it's not in there so that you could spend it. Like that's not my shoe budget. I'm telling you right now, that's not my shoe budget. That's there. Yeah, that's your cushion. That's your safety net. But maybe you lose your job or something. Like have some cash flow in there so that you're not worried. Every Christmas is different than what it is after New Year's, right? And that's because people take Christmas off. They spend time with their family. But it doesn't stress me out anymore because I have a cushion just in case. Just in case. Even when you do have those low months, your brain is going to be whirling like crazy to create the income because you actually don't want it to drop anymore. So it's kind of giving yourself permission again to live that life by design around your values, around what's most important to you, and setting it up so that your finances fuel your purpose, your future. And even if you want a legacy to leave behind, that it's going to fuel that as well.
And back to kind of the emergency money, first line of defense, right? So important to have, so important. And I stress that to, clients, like if things hit the fan in your world, your first place you go is right there, right? Or like you'd said, like if you're an entrepreneur and it's not the same every month because it's not, like that is basically somewhere you can lean to. So super solid.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for making some time to spend with us this afternoon or this
Thank
morning
you. I
or
really
wherever
appreciate
anyone's
it.
listening, right?
Definitely. Wherever in the world.
All right. Well, thanks so much. And hopefully you'll join us on our next Platinum Talks Wealth podcast.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, Platinum Talks Wealth, please subscribe and share. For more information about Jennifer Rogers Markwell or Platinum Wealth Management, please visit www.platinumwealth.net. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member of FINRA and SIPC. The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. The guest speakers and their companies are not affiliated with or endorsed by LPL Financial or Platinum Wealth Management.